Early Christmas Eve morning, Officer Jen Sabina lays in the freezing cold snow, ambushed, shot 5 times, 3 in the face.
In my head, I was obsessed with the fact that she was lying out in the rain. And I couldn't get out of my head. It ate me alive for months after the fact that she was lying out in the rain all alone.
You wanted to protect her from the rain?
Yeah.
Her brothers in blue are heartbroken.
I looked at all of the younger officers almost like my kids and tell all the families how we were going to keep them safe. And I failed. I failed miserably in this case. I didn't keep her safe.
And when they deliver the news to her husband at 7:03 a.m. that morning, he's inconsolable. Wauwatosa police are baffled. Officer Sabina seemed to be loved by all. Could there be a crazed cop killer on the loose? Investigators don't think so. The 3 shots to the face tell them something different.
It clearly indicates that it was very personal.
Police track footprints in the snow at the scene. At first, it leads nowhere. Then a break. Detectives begin checking surveillance cameras in the area around the shooting. Suddenly, they spot a familiar vehicle, this black Prius with black rims. Who is it? Unbelievably, the Prius looks identical to the one Jennifer's husband Ben drives.
His vehicle is basically tracked through Department of Transportation cameras from locations up near their residence and all the way down through the freeways and through the side streets to where it appears on camera a block away from the murder scene.
Ben's called back down to the station. It's 4:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Day. He rushes over without hesitation. Ben's there to get answers about what happened to his wife. Instead, he gets questions.
Ben, something happened that morning, and only you know what happened there.
I do not.
Ben, I know...
You're upsetting me with the fact that you think I
apologize. I don't mean any disrespect, Ben. Ben, I don't mean any disrespect.
If there's just anything I can explain to you is that I loved her. There's no rage, there was no outburst ever directed at her, and I never would, because I had such true love for her that I couldn't hurt her.
Despite Ben's denial, cops go to Jen and Ben's house. They find footprints in the snow there too, but at first they come up empty inside. Detectives go back to grilling Ben later that Christmas Day.
I could never have hurt her. If I was there, I would have saved her ass. I would have stepped out of the way. I would have done anything to stop this from happening.
He made so many different statements that it's difficult for me to really gauge how much of it was true and how much of it wasn't.
Now convinced Ben's the killer, police go back to the house again for a closer look. This time they hit the jackpot, literally finding the smoking guns stuffed in the ceiling.
Hidden behind several pieces of insulation in the rafters of the basement, we located both the 9mm Makarov style weapon, and we located Jennifer's duty weapon.
Cops would soon learn Ben was hiding another very dark secret.
I was a Marine, and we're trained to kill. We're trained that death is okay.
In this YouTube video made by his church before Jennifer's murder, the former Marine who fought in Afghanistan and Iraq reveals he's now battling PTSD.
The first time I came back from Iraq, I was extremely angry and very lost in my ways. I was scared out of my mind, and I was angry all the time.
But was his dark and lonely world so bleak it made him kill the one person who loved him unconditionally?
I wonder, like, when he kissed her goodbye when she went to work that night, did he have an idea that this was going to happen?
I think the war and PTSD did make a contribution to his acting out and murdering his wife. However, I don't think that was sufficient enough explanation.
Dr. Ashok Badi, a board-certified psychiatrist for more than 40 years, is an expert on PTSD. He never interviewed Ben Sabina, but after looking at the case, tells Crime Watch Daily he thinks Ben was afraid of losing Jennifer. Prosecutor Mark Williams claims Ben Sabina was insanely jealous and angry about his wife's success as a police officer.
One of the things that no one knew until he told us is that he had been stalking her. And he said a lot of this was to, because of the jealousy was motivating him. He wanted to find out what she was doing. He obviously made a choice at some point that he would have to kill her in order not to lose her.
Jennifer was very professional. She was friendly but never flirtatious with anybody that I saw. He was struggling in his own life as far as to get a successful career or job. And of course, she had hers all laid out. So I think that was a source of friction probably between them.
Jennifer had only been with the department for a little less than 2 years, and in public, she and Ben seemed to be a married couple madly in love.
My first encounter with him was actually at Jennifer's swearing in. And the two of them were like giddy teenagers in love in all outward appearances, holding hands and giggling and staring into each other's eyes.
Remember when cops first told Ben Sabina about his wife's death? He flew into a rage. Now, cops believe Ben was just trying to throw them off his track.
He flipped over the interview table in a fit of rage. And I think that was just something he probably thought would be appropriate or something that somebody who just found that out would do. I don't think it was because he was that angry or that upset.
Putting on an act for you.
Yes.
Finally, at 6:52, the day after Christmas, following 60 grueling hours of interrogation, Ben Sabina comes clean.
Confession time, right? Well, I did it. I did it.
Confessing to shooting the woman he claimed to love, twice in the back of the head, then pulling out her very own police pistol and firing 3 more rounds right into her face.
Do you think she knew who killed her?
Can only hope that it was quick, that it was painless, that her last thoughts were nothing but positive, happy as she walked out of that fire station, ready to continue on her shift, ready to keep doing the job that she loved.
And the former Marine war hero now sits calmly describing the vicious attack to the same detectives his beloved wife used to call her brothers in blue.
Shot her, and she went down. And I went up to take another shot, and she started getting up, and she started going for a gun, so I went for a gun. And then I shot her with the same pistol again, and then I grabbed the other one and shot her a couple more times just to make sure she was actually out. Do
you think she knew it was you?
I don't think so.
Ben's cold confession sends a chill through Jennifer's fellow cops.
Why did you shoot her in the face with her own gun?
That was just because I wanted to make sure she was dead.
He took the extra time and effort to remove her gun out of her duty holster, and while looking down at his wife, shot her 3 times in the face. That's personal. That means something. That's premeditated.
Up next, Ben's twisted motive behind his loving wife's murder.
Why did she deserve to die like that?
I wish I could have just killed myself.
Why didn't she?
Because she would have killed herself after that.